Yeah, we are getting ready for our next series. Looks like we're just getting all the casters involved. We're getting everyone filing on in here, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty juicy best of 5. This also means that we are actually nearing the end of the broadcast. I mentioned before, but it's single lim, right? It's single elimination, and soon all these qualifying matches, they're going to be getting underway, and yeah, it's going to be popping off.
Yeah, it's a brutal format, especially with the kind of caliber of players. We've seen a lot of top Europeans, a lot of top Koreans as well in this NA qualifier, so it's tough. It's tough competition.
Oh, it really is, as it looks like we have another qualifying match getting ready as well as we start up our own. Gumiho did 2-0 Geralt, and Nightmare 2-0'd Cristiano. So Gumiho versus Nightmare is also about to begin.
Yeah, okay, that's going to be a very exciting match too. Nightmare's such an aggressive player. I do feel like some of the weirder openings of Gumiho could actually be shut down by the Blink Stalker all-ins of Nightmare, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that one be a bit of a back-and-forth series.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. As we are getting into game number 1, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo.
And in the bottom right-hand corner here, the Club NV Gamer, the Protoss in the red, this is Creator.
And if you're in the chat, predictions are open, so you can place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. Remember, it's a best of 5, and this could go either way, so predictions open. Best of luck, man. Best of luck.
It's vibing.
Yeah.
Having a little party over there.
Was vibing as we do foresee our natural. We're loading into Golden Aura for the first time here in this qualifier, so you know we have the ability to get into a couple of extra maps here because it is the best of 5. There are less vetoes, and do you have any thoughts? I know you've been able to sink your teeth into some more of these maps. Now you've been laddering a little bit more.
I do not have any thoughts, just generally speaking.
Okay, fair enough.
Thoughts don't start till 3 p.m. I'm sorry.
Like, it's too early, Pop. It's too early.
Yeah.
It's still bench time.
It's not bench time, but it's not. It's not a live time.
Okay.
It's just. This is prime league time.
You're like, mate, the brain is not active right now. Okay, this is when I play league.
No.
Oh,
this is when clicking happens. We're only at that stage of mental development.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll ask you later then. Okay.
Yeah, someone in the chat saying that they can't have their cat sit in their lap like this because of how sharp their claws are. Rufus actually has like really not very sharp claws. I don't know why. I don't know if he's just like bad at taking care of his claws or something, but he can like scratch me as well, and it usually doesn't hurt too much. I know like most cats have like way sharper claws.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially because Rufus is an indoor cat and you don't have like tiles or anything. Like, I know that there are some people that they get like they have like flooring, which helps like naturally like refine or like file back their nails and stuff like that. But like you've got carpet, so I don't know. Rufus has no excuse. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like he's got cardboard to scratch, but no.
There you go. Maybe.
He's just always been like that. He's just a gentle boy.
Yeah, he's looking after you, Pop. He doesn't want to hurt you.
He does. He tries.
Okay. You're like, no, he will kill me. He wants to, but he wants to.
He does his best. He's not sharp enough.
There you go. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. As we are getting into our next game, into our next series here. So far, nothing too crazy. Creator, he is going for a Stargate opener into an Oracle. So everything's looking normal. We did see like a crazy robot opener last series, but for now, you know, we're calming things down.
Yeah, pretty standard so far. I do remember casters like Maynard saying that PvZ, you could pretty much just start the game from like 5 minutes and you wouldn't miss too much. But 2 devs going down for 3 drones, I'd say that's probably an even trade considering the lost mining time as well.
Yeah, the downside here is that with the death of those adepts, that means that Lambo can go across map, he can look to deny the third base, so Creator has to reinvest, warp in an extra wave of adepts before he can expand. Meanwhile, the Oracle diving towards that main as well. Spore is not up and running, we have 2 queens in the main base, meanwhile at the third, we have 2 queens as well.
Yeah, pretty solid defense by Lambo. Just going to be delaying those spores as long as he can. He did invest into a few extra lings here, so he's going to be trying to use those just to deny the third, but Creator gets a few cheap shots off and should be able to get that up now.
Yeah, solid play here at a Creator. He may have lost his first 2 adepts, but he has another 2. He is able to get his third base up and running. The Oracle is across the map looking for some damage here at the third. He does spot the Spore, but no worker kills yet from Creator.
Yeah, very clean, organized early game coming out from Lambo, as we would expect.
Exactly, and loading into Golden Aura, I did want to mention, of course, that it is a short rush distance by ground. You can be very assertive on this map. Despite that, your base setup can actually be quite defendable, and we have seen a lot of split map play here on Golden Aura as well. And things can get really awkward just because it's so congested. There aren't actually that many bases to take. So yeah, it's been interesting to see it play out.
Yeah, I've liked this map for TBC actually. But yeah, as you're saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases, with those edge bases being a little bit difficult to take. I do remember, I think it was Showtime saying that he really doesn't like playing split map on this map just because the way that the sensor towers, the Xel'Naga, towers are laid out and how wide out these edge bases are, it's usually going to be Zerg getting both of these bases, which is not ideal.
Yes, yeah, it can be really difficult for the Protoss to establish the gold or top right. Not impossible, but difficult. So, yeah, we'll see how that does come into play. The Oracles are going to be harassing. They're trying to find a way in, but so far, Lambo keeps up with all the rotations, does zone Creator back, and now we're able to get into a Roach play, Lair as well, fully saturated Lambo. I'm really impressed by how little damage he has sustained.
Yeah, very solid early game coming out from Lambo. You can kind of see the influence of his friend Alazer as well with how late some of these spores have gone down.
Ooh, exactly, as we're finally getting a couple of drone kills. A Spore not quite done here. 4, 5, 6 drones going down. Finally some damage.
Yeah, great micro there, just taking out those gas drones as they come through. Quite a bit of hull damage on the Oracles, but considering how standard and defensive and passive Lambo is playing, I think that should be fine.
Yeah, that should be okay. Behind this, it was a Twilight Council on the forward, so Blink and +1 as a follow-up. Third base is getting saturated. Creator is not going to be pushing out. He doesn't have Blink yet, but he does have energy on these Oracles, so he's under no real threat of being surrounded by Lings.
Yeah, Lings look like they're going to be going for a counterattack at that third. Creator is playing 6 gases before his fourth again, so we're likely going to be seeing that double robo style coming out.
Yeah, definitely. As we catch some reinforcements, 1 Stalker, 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers going to be going down. Big trades here from Lambo. He does get something for his troubles, but he is forced to cancel his 4th again.
Yeah, really nice move there from Lambo to catch the reinforce there, especially with Blink being just very slightly late from Creator.
Yeah, still 5 seconds away, so a very crisp move there from Lambo. He is attempting to retake his 4th as he's going for a Spire. The Spire is hidden behind the mineral line. Creator is headed in that direction. Is he going to scout? Up! Up!
Oh, he comes very close to seeing that Spire, but it looks like he won't see it. Roach Speed coming out behind this as well. So quite often we have been seeing Lambo just mix in 5 mutas just to go for a bit of harass, maybe force a reaction out of the Protoss, and then switching hard back into that usual Ling, Bane, Roach Ravager.
Oh, definitely, and we'll see how hard he does commit to his mutas, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, massive Link counterattack. We force a cancel on the 4th base. We force out a force field as well, and the entire army comes back home. So a pretty good counterattack from Lambo, especially because it does alleviate some of the pressure, and it does allow Lambo to take his own 4th.
Really nice force field though. Saves all those units as we do see that 4th is starting to come up. Second Robo is down as well. So second Robo with the Robo Bay, we see Colossus and Disruptors being produced. Should be able to get a nice ground pounding army here, but I think Mutas is pretty much the ideal transition here coming up against this.
Exactly. There are Blink Stalkers, don't get us wrong. There is anti-air available, but the Spire has not been scouted, and Creator is not really ready for this. He is getting some safety cannons and shield batteries in the bases, though, so he's going to have at least something to defend. Observer comes in, and the mutas have been spotted.
Yeah, mutas have been spotted. Decent commitment coming out from Lambo. He did go for 12, in fact, rather than just 5. So he might be able to start to get some pickups here. He'll at least be able to keep Creator penned back in the bases with the Stalkers.
Exactly, and we'll see if Lambo can get some damage done. He's got Ling Roach kind of marauding around between the 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, we have the Mutas working towards the main base. It's going to be on Creator to split up his army and successfully defend all of his bases all at once.
Yeah, Lambo doesn't want to take a direct fight here. The ground army of Creator is extremely strong, but if he can split it up, cause an undersplit somewhere, or get on top of some probes, that's going to be ideal.
Exactly, and we can see Lambo sharking around looking for that opportunity. For the time being, he does meet the Colossi and he is forced to back off. Meanwhile, that's a second Stargate on the way. Phoenix production has commenced. We should be investing into around 5 or 6 Phoenixes here. No overcommitment, especially because Lambo is not making any more mutants. He made the 12, and from here going Ling Bane, Roach Ravager.
Yeah, the Baneling timing is looming here, so once he does get up into those 20 to 40 Banelings and Bane speed, he should be able to start putting some pressure on the 2 bases, the 3rd and the 4th.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this observer between the bases does also confirm the Lings and Roaches coming out, so we're aware that we're committing to a ground-based army. Creator, he does know, and so far he hasn't really sustained too many losses. The Mutas, though, they're actually making their way towards that 3rd. Creator in the middle of pushing out, so we could finally get some probe kills.
Yeah, Muta's going to be running on in. The Stalkers are caught out of position, but there's a lot of cannons and shield batteries. Lambo actually being punished quite hard for that move.
Ooh, exactly. He's going to be losing a Muta or 2 in the retreat. 1 Muta's going down so far. Meanwhile, Hive is on the way. Hydrogen as well. Looks like Lambo, he's thinking about going into Hydra Lurker Viper. Not a bad transition, but it's still on the horizon, and Creator should be able to be online and active first.
Yeah, Creator's starting to move out with the Stalkers here, and he does have that Robo set up as well, so he's got some Colossus and Disruptors. If he can get some good force fields as well, it's going to be really nice for zoning out any of these Banelings, but it is going to come down, in fact, to those Banelings, whether they can get those connections they need.
Yeah, and there's not too much crease red here, so we have potential, or Creator even has potential for a good fight. Meanwhile, the Mutas, they catch a Colossus across the map. Big pickoff.
Yeah, great move. Does get out of there before those Phoenixes can react as well.
Yeah, Phoenixes are racing across the map, and here we go. We're going to be pushing in. Safe Strap's going to be going off. Catches so many Banelings.
Wow, beautiful timing on the 4th field. Big Stasis Trap on the Banelings as well. Creator, if he wants to, can try to time out a Nova as that finishes up.
Exactly, as we do have the Banelings trapped. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Mutas, they commit across the map. They get into a mineral line, 6 workers go down. They go straight for the main as well. Meanwhile, the Stasis is about to run out here. Creator does not turn around.
Creator just continuing to poke. He doesn't want to distract himself too much. He wouldn't want to take a big fight while trying to deal with the Mutas. Oh, massive Nova on the Banelings.
Big connection. We pull back to a stasis field, actually. There's like 4 or 5 stasis traps set up here, and Banelings, they cannot touch the army.
Yeah, insanely good setup here from Creator. Does zone out those Mutas as well. Doesn't take too much damage from the Mutas. He had the perfect arrangement of cannons and batteries. I do think, yeah, if you're a Protoss in the chat that is struggling with Muta play, this would be a really good replay to watch.
Oh yeah, like Creator, he's done so well for himself. Banelings are about to finish up though, and another safe strap goes off, catching some of those things. The Colossi, they do kite back here to the safety of the rest of the army. Novas are going to be going off.
Yeah, those Banelings just disappeared, but Lambo's starting to get on top of the army now. That's another huge stasis trap, though. These stasis traps for Creator have been absolutely money, and it looks like the army of Lambo is just getting a little bit too small to deal with this, especially as he starts to transition into that Hydra and Viper setup.
Exactly. He needs more time. He needs some breathing room, and that's something that Creator is just not giving him. Nova's going to be going off once again, connecting with the Lings and Roaches. Roach count is being reset. The Mutas also got completely cleaned up. The Phoenixes just had their way with them, and now it's only Ling Bane Roach Ravager here for Lambo.
Yeah, Creator's timing with the force fields and with the Novas is just so sharp. Meanwhile, we do see Lambo, though, trying to set up the gold base down to the bottom left. That is really going to help him out as the army is having trouble pushing into creep here.
Yeah, and the Vipers are going down to the Phoenixes. 1 Viper gets picked off, another as well, and it looks like we're going to be able to clean this up. The Phoenixes are taking a lot of damage. 2 Vipers, they barely do escape with their lives, but that was a really good move out of Creator, recognizing how vulnerable they were, and the 4th base does fall.
Yeah, pretty brave actually to run in there with those Vipers. They must have just not had energy for Parabombs.
And the last Vipers go down as well. Ling Bane's going to be crashing on forward. This time, no stasis traps. We do connect with the Immortals at least. Do we have enough?
Yeah, the Immortals go down. The Banelings are crashing on in. They are falling by the droves now, though. And the 3 Colossus survive, I think, with this extra warp in of Zealots. And the Phoenix running in to pick up the last of the Roaches. That will be it. GG is called. Creator taking another PVZ.
GG, well played. Creator, solid defense, solid early to mid game, just not taking any damage whatsoever. His fourth was cancelled that one time, but outside of that, he was able to keep up with the Mutas, and the Mutas, they didn't really pay for themselves. They did catch one Colossus, if you remember. There was like that one moment where he got a Colossus and he got like 6 workers, but outside of that, the Mutas, they weren't able to really add too much more.
Yeah, the Mutas didn't really get too much done just because the defense from Creator was so clean. He just had the perfect amount of cannon battery at each of the bases as well, and I think the positioning, especially of that cannon battery, was really nice.
Exactly, just really well done. And when it came to the attacks, oh, the stasis traps, Bobby. The setup from a Creator was beautiful. And yeah, on top of that, it was also a really, really important timing from Creator. Remember, Lambo, he was working on Hydra Lurker Viper. He was working on that transition, but he just barely didn't get there. He was barely forced to engage in attack and fight before he could get into his ideal army.
Yeah, definitely. And now Creator's got that 1-0 lead, and it is of course a best of 5, so Lambo's got plenty of work to cook, plenty of room to cook. Getting my metaphors mixed up here. But we've got a bigger map here, so this should be a little bit nicer for him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Lambo's got to get in that kitchen, you know, get the fire going, hopefully not burn anything, and let him cook, Papi, let him cook. And yeah, I mean, the map there was really influential as well into the momentum that Creator got. We were talking about the short rush distance, right? And because of that, once you get momentum, it can be really hard to really slow down the aggressing player, and Lambo just didn't have the breathing room he needed to tech up. I imagine is going to have a bit of an easier time here on a larger map like Solaris.
Yeah, probably. He had a pretty solid early game. I feel like, yeah, it probably did just kind of come down to the fact that there was a big investment into Mutas and they didn't really get that much done. I mean, 12 Mutas, that's 1,200 gas. It's pretty big commitment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for a perspective, right? Like, you invest into Mutas, you invest into the Spire, that delays your Hive, that delays your Hydrogen, that delays your Lurkerden, that delays that next step, and it was not quite worth it.
Here we go. Chance at redemption here in the top right-hand corner for the Shopify Rebellion. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator.
Creator's PvZ looking pretty clean today. Hasn't had too much trouble with Wayne or Lambo just yet, but I do expect Lambo is going to have some nasty timings prepared for certain maps, depending on what he sees.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if Lambo's able to adapt to Creator as well. Something that we saw last game from Creator is what he's known for, I feel, or at least a trend that I've noticed is a Creator. He usually is a very defensive and passive player. In that last game, like, he wasn't trying to hit any kind of earlier timing. He was just trying to set up on 4 bases, right? Get up to 4 base economy, then he can push out, then he can be active. And his opposing Zerg player could try to take advantage of him, right? And try to be greedy, drone up, tech up, and try to get ahead in that way. It's something that Lambo wasn't quite able to accomplish because of the earlier investment. But yeah, we'll see if he can maybe do that here on Solaris, or we'll see if Creator adjusts as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lambo should be used to that kind of play. I feel like most of the EU Protosses are playing that 6 gas style. So he didn't look uncomfortable in that game. Like, I feel like he knew what he wanted to do. Yeah. He just wasn't quite able to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if that will change here on a larger map compared to Golden Aura. Again, Golden Aura, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more congested, one of the smaller maps in the map pool. So yeah, we will see a very different dynamic here in game number 2. For now, we're just getting into our openers, and it should be Stargate into a third once again from Creator. Shouldn't be being too adventurous.
Yeah, Creator's played mostly standard apart from that one disruptor drop game, and I think versus Lambo, just because Lambo is not as often going to be going for those early roach openers, I probably don't expect to see a disruptor drop coming out.
Yeah, I doubt it as well. I think that was more of like an anomaly or the exception from Creator, not the rule. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. Third base is going to be thrown down. A little bit delayed here by this probe, being a little bit annoying, grazing past that location. But Lambo's going to get his third base up and running. The Adept arrives just a little bit too late tonight.
so Creator knows everything that's going on here. Lambo once again going to be confident to just play a standard game.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking confident. May have lost game 1, but hey, it's the best of 5. You know, plenty of games to work with. We can afford to drop a map here or there before really kind of getting into the swing of things. And I want to believe that Lambo is definitely comparable to Creator when it comes to skill. Like, I believe that we can get it back and forth.
These depths in the main are going to be trouble. There's not too many links here to deal with it. It looks like, yeah, we are going to have a commitment there. The drones are getting pulled, but there's going to be a lot of them going down. 3 going down already. Actually, the same as last game. I think Lambo should be able to keep it just to 3.
Yeah, there we go. That could have been really scary. That could have been so much more, but Lambo does minimize his losses. Only 3 workers go down, and now we can go for a big Ling counterattack as well. Meanwhile, the Oracle is moving out across the map, but once again, Lambo, he's in position with his queens.
Yeah, this is identical to last game so far.
Yeah, exactly. Lings go for a counterattack. There are 2 deaths back at home, so Creator's going to be able to defend, eventually take a 3rd base. This time, Creator, he does commit, though. He does get a couple of extra workers.
That's a lot of hull damage. I think that's probably an even trade there.
Yeah, exactly. Creator has to be very careful with this Oracle. We don't want to throw it away. We don't want to lose it too soon, too prematurely. Meanwhile, Lambo is in position to deny that 3rd, and can he pull it off? Looks like he is going to respect the Adepts for now. He's going to rotate around towards the 3rd base location, but we have the 2nd Oracle lying in wait.
Creator's just playing safe, doing the right things. Looks like it's going to be a pretty standard transition as well. I'm sure it's going to be Blinking +1 as those double gases are going down a little bit later than when he played the more 2-base style.
Exactly, and there it is. There's that Forge and Twilight Council, as you were saying. There's always a chance that maybe we could spice it up and go into Charge instead of Blink, but Creator should be working towards those Blink Stalkers. Again, very similar to game 1.
You can kind of see why taking the hull damage on the Oracle is a problem here. That yellow Oracle does get shoot away from the Queens, and I feel like there would be a possibility that it could just kind of run past them if it wasn't already damaged. But we've got 2 more coming in for Creator here. 2 more healthy Oracles. They're going to try to snipe some of those drones coming down to the natural.
Oh, exactly, as they head towards that natural base. But the Queens are in position, and we do force back the Oracles once again. But at the same time, we have 2 Adepts shading in. They do commit, but Lings are waiting.
Yeah, Lambo's early game looking fantastic here. Those Adepts going to go down without too much trouble. He did lose a few more drones than this last time. But yeah, everything looking really solid. Lambo's obviously got a lot of practice in these kind of standard games, and they've got all the European Zerg players have of course got Raynor and Cyril to learn from as well. So we're always expecting to see their games be very clean.
I thought you were going to start listing off the Protoss players that they face off against, and you said Raynor, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Raynor, yeah.
There you go.
Showtime and Raynor, yeah.
exactly.
And then like 4,000 barcode 6K Protoss.
True. As Lambo is very well versed. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they do find their way into the main. They're going to be able to pick off a couple of workers here. Only 1 Queen to defend. We get 5 drones.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick off there for the Protoss. I think considering some of the corners Lambo was able to cut should still be fine. As we do get the recall there on the Oracles. And once again, going to be moving out with this timing. Last time we saw this, Lambo was able to pick off some of the reinforcing Stalkers before Blink finished, but Blink is finishing it at a bit more of a crisp time this time around.
Oh, exactly. As Lambo is still getting ready for that Ling counterattack. Meanwhile, Creator is pushing right through the center of the map, hoping to catch some of these Queens. The Ling's not here to support, so the Queens are in some danger.
Yeah, this little speed zone here makes things a little bit more awkward, and it's a very congested area. Creator does have to make sure that he doesn't get surrounded here, though.
Oh, exactly. As once again, we catch reinforcements, but we do have Blink. We do dive back towards the safety of these shield batteries, just barely out of range, though.
Yeah, those front 2 Stalkers are going to be going down.
Yeah, they're going to be going down at the same time. The main army is going to be clashing. We do bait out that stasis trap. There is no other stasis trap behind this, but Creator, he doesn't gain any ground, and he did lose some Stalkers across the map. That is 2 dead Stalkers here for Creator.
Roach is going to be finishing just in time for Lambo to keep those Queens safe, but something to note is that the creep is being penned right back into these bases. Lambo hasn't been able to spread that just because the Stalkers are sitting here right on the edge, and that's going to be something that's really helpful later on when the Robo push comes.
Definitely, and the Robo push is on the horizon. Lings are being caught. Some of these stray Overlords are being caught out as well as Creator backs off. But something important that has just happened here is that this time Lambo gets his 4th. Last time he was forced to cancel this a couple of times actually, and Lambo had a hard time expanding. This time double expanding, getting a 4th and a 5th.
Yeah, Lambo looking to have a pretty comfortable setup here as he is droning heavily. Got that Bane and Roach speed on the way as well, and it is going to be another Robo push coming out from Creator. So he's got that double Robo setup. He's got a Thermal Lance on the way, Force being denied again, and a few Stalkers picked off too. So yeah, everything coming up a little bit better for Lambo.
Yeah, exactly. He's had so much more freedom and control in this game, shutting down the drops, going for big counterattacks, observers coming in. I'm sure we want to try to see if there's another Spire on the way, just like the previous game. And yeah, Creator, he's just kind of stuck at home here, still just trying to get that fourth up.
Yeah, interestingly as well, Creator hasn't gone for charge just yet. He might just be going purely for Stalker Colossus.
Yeah, interesting choice here not to invest in those charge lots here or Archons either. So Stalker Colossus Disruptor, as you were saying. We'll see if Creator can pull this off because Lambo is about to max out. Banelings are getting ready. Baneling speed is now done. And we're looking to lay siege upon this army, and Creator doesn't see the army. He doesn't know where Lambo is.
Yeah, the Baneling time going to be coming on in, but this is a pretty congested area to run through. Really nicely done there by Lambo, setting off that stasis trap nice and early.
Second stage trap also gets baited out as well, so good start here for Lambo. Meanwhile, the Oracles are going straight for the Ravagers, and the Ravagers are going to be focused down. That's still a lot of Ling Bane.
Yeah, really good movement here by Creator, just trying to get as many extra shots off as he can.
Yeah, exactly, as it looks like Lambo's going to try to come in from behind as well. Force fields are thrown down. Bailey's, they're making their way towards those mineral lines, and can they make it in?
Oh. The North being pulled back, Creator fighting on 3 different fronts at once, and the Stalkers, without the support of the Disruptors and Colossus, getting absolutely melted by the Roaches, but I think there is not enough here for Lambo.
Yeah, there's not enough. 3 Colossi rock up here from the natural base, and with those 3 Colossi, Creator's going to be able to force this back. Lambo is remaxing though on more Lings and Roaches, but Creator has momentum.
Lambo does not have Banelings. This counterattack is going to be really nasty to deal with. I'm not sure if Creator has force fields. It looks like no, he doesn't have any sentries, so he might not be able to commit fully onto creep with those Colossus, especially without a prism.
Yeah, and oh my god, he was lying and he was in position waiting for the surround here. He does catch some of those Lings and Roaches. Nova goes off. Big, not big connection, actually. Good split out of Lambo.
I'm a little bit scared for Creator here. This is a massive surround with all the Roaches. Recall does come down, but the Colossus are going to be taken out. So Lambo defends this very effectively before that Prism can get there. And Creator, with a bit of an overextension, is now in trouble to the counterattack of Lambo.
Exactly, and that was huge. Looking at the units lost tab there, that was 2 dead Colossus and 2 dead Disruptors. The power units have been reset. We are down to 1 single Colossus remaining here for Creator, which means he can't really be too active. He's going to try to with these Stalkers, but he has lost any kind of pushing power.
Yeah, Creator just trying to set up a bit of map control here. He is going to look to kite any units back across the map with these Stalkers. Might actually be able to put pressure on this 5th as well. But apart from that, I do think this is actually quite risky. He might lose these Stalkers.
Yeah, very risky. And here come the reinforcements. Roach is coming in to cut off these Stalkers. Recall was already used. Bear that in mind. So Creator has to be very careful with his movement.
Yeah, Creator microing on 2 fronts here very effectively. Nice stuff.
Oh yeah, he does actually kite all the way back to the safety of his 3rd base. He's almost there. We do have a Colossus lying in wait. The Oracles are coming in from behind.
Good force field does make it a bit more awkward for those Banelings to trickle on in. The Colossus is going to be able to deal with those as they make their way in towards the mineral line, and just continuing to just try and make as many pickoffs as he can with the Stalkers and Oracles is Creator. He wants to punish every little overextension of Lambo.
I'm very impressed by what Creator was able to just accomplish with those Stalkers. Like, I feel like any lesser player would have lost everything. They would have lost all the Stalkers, and that would have been game then and there. But no, Creator, he does barely preserve them. He's holding on. He's recovering. Lambo is maxed out on Lingbane Roach Ravager. Can Creator survive long enough to max out himself? That's the question, because Lambo's getting ready for a big counterattack here towards the north.
Yeah, really nice preemptive split by Creator. He's doing such a good job just being constantly active with these Stalkers, finding the army and just picking off just a couple Banelings, a couple Ravagers every now and then. And that's just going to make all these defenses a lot easier for him.
Yeah, exactly. As once again, impressive that he does control a macro on 2 fronts. He avoids the surrounds. At the same time, going for a Zealot counterattack. Looks like he has just realized that charge isn't done. So the slow lots are going to be cleaned up. Charge is halfway done here for Creator, working on +3. Still building up a ground toss army.
Yeah, the Creator with that move, just continuing to buy time for himself and keeping an eye on the map. His map control with these Stalkers and Oracles has just been really exemplary.
Oh, they really have been, but can he keep up? Because Lambo, he wants to commit. Bailings are being cleaned up here towards the north, though, and we have Colossi waiting towards the south, so there's no easy way in for Lambo. He's trying to split up his army, maybe trying to find another way in. What's a little bit concerning, looking at the tech here, is the Infestation is just now on the way. There is no Hydrogen, so we're still committed to Lingbane Roach Ravager. We're still looking to work towards Hive Tech and potentially Hydras later on.
It's going to be waddling on into the main. That causes a huge reaction from Lambo, bringing everything back to safety while he tries to deal with that. And it looks like these Banelings off to the side are going to be caught out by the Stalkers and the Oracles. Really nice stuff here from Creator, and he is starting to get some momentum now.
He really is, as he's double expanding, by the way. He's taking a 5th and a 6th base at the same time. He's winning on both fronts, and now he's going to be pushing on both fronts as well. Hatcheries are being taken. Lambo, he is amassing his army here on the right-hand side, but Creator is pushing on the left. This base is exposed.
Yeah, it feels like Creator is just outpacing Lambo here. This ring of vision and control on both sides of the map has been really beautiful. The Oracle's constantly tracking every little movement of Lambo.
Exactly. Well, now we're going to be trading a base for a base. We force a cancel towards the south. That's going to be a kill towards the north. And Lambo, does he come back home or does he keep pushing? Looks like he wants to try to turn her back around, try to catch some of this army.
Oh, this main army from Creator is absolutely terrifying. If he can wedge himself into a good spot, Lambo might not be able to fight it. It looks like Lambo agrees, and he will be going for a full counterattack. It's going to be a base trade.
Full base trade here as we're pushing towards that third base as well. Bailing's going down. Lambo turns back around. He's racing back home.
Yeah, indecision from Lambo. Realizes that this army is just a little bit too strong. If he bleeds out units during the base trade, he will never be able to take the fight, so he might as well take the fight when he's at his strongest.
Yeah, but this position is so brutal. We recall back home. We recall the Colossi back home, and we're going to be able to hold on to this base. Meanwhile, the Bailings, they can deal with the rest of the army, though.
Yeah, interesting recall. Baneling's going to be wasted on these Archons, though. They are going to be trying to run past those, get towards the Disruptors and Stalkers, and yeah, Lambo saves a good amount of those Banelings. That's very fortunate for him, and I'm a little bit confused as to where we stand in this game now.
Yeah, Lambo, he's down to sub 40 workers, but he's maxed. He's maxed out on an insanely large army. He has a couple of bases up and running, but he did just lose 2 hatcheries. Economically, Creator is ahead, and Creator, he's going to be able to remax. Meanwhile, Lambo, he's pretty committed. He's pretty all in at this point.
Oh, Big Nova is going to be taking out some of these roaches. A lot of the Banelings getting peeled off as they walk in. Creator once again just being so active with these Stalkers, picking off every piece of value that he can get here.
Yeah, and a big warp themselves into the main base as well, going to be distracting his opponent. We do see Lambo trying to collapse on this position, but with these Colossus Disruptors and Archons as well, mate, Creator, he does hold.
Yeah, the Immortal stands its ground. It is backed up by those Colossus that'll be keeping any lings off them. Looks like the drop has been dealt with here. There's definitely enough roaches to stop the Zealots from getting damage, or at least there should be. But 11 drones have gone down. Lambo really suffering when it comes to the economy right now.
Yeah, Lambo, we mentioned before that he was all in. He's down to 26 drones. And even though the supplies are looking close, again, that is inflated supply because these roaches, the soup does sometimes lie here. And Lambo, he has to make something happen with this army.
Creator is just so active with these Stalkers, it's insane, but really nicely timed counterattack by Lambo. He is finally going to be able to take down this base to the bottom right here. It doesn't want to bleed off too many units, but Creator continuing to force fights, force little skirmishes, trying to just be the faster player, which I do think he has been.
Yeah, he has, but this is still going to get really awkward here as Lambo's also coming in for a big engage as well. Some of the Archons get caught out. 3 Archons are going to be going down, so big pick off for Lambo.
Yeah, it's really important for Creator here that he keeps these Immortals alive. The Immortals going to be absolutely crucial. And 3 Immortals chunking through these roaches. They are getting annihilated.
Oh my god, the Nova goes off and it does connect. GG gets called. Creator, he cleans up the army. There was nothing left for Lambo. And Creator takes game number 2.
Yeah, game number 2 going to Creator. That one was a little bit more spicy. A very exciting game coming out on Solaris.
Exactly, and even though the recall was a little bit questionable from Creator, where he did lose a lot of supply across the map, what he did do was still cripple the economy, right? He crippled the bases, the economy, and he was able to preserve his own economy and army, enough of it to be able to survive and just kind of force Lambo into a really all-in position, into a really uncomfortable position, and yeah, just really impressive play overall. Like I myself am really impressed by how Creator was able to control on multiple fronts and come out ahead. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, the activity and the value that he got from those oracles and stalkers, just being constantly out on the map, picking away at the army, keeping an eye on the movement of the army, was really the success in that game. Because Solaris, it's a pretty wide open map, so you have to keep track of all these different angles that the Zerg can be coming from.
Yeah, like whenever we would like pan over, we would see Creator just blinking back or avoiding the biles as well with his oracles and stalkers, and it was just so impressive that he was able to keep up with the tempo of Lambo and even overcome the tempo of Lambo as well. Not an easy thing to do. So yeah, Creator, mate, he's on fire today.
Yeah, there are oracles following the army every single time. I just did not see Lambo move out with Bane Rav without there being an oracle just hovering over it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And with that, we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of this series.
Yeah, that's right. So this is one of the last chances for the player in the bottom right to fight back for the rebellion. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV, up 2-0 in the specified qualifying match. It is Creator. That is a 15-15.
Yeah, Lambo going to be using the 15-15 just to prevent that hatch from getting blocked. Maybe a little bit scared of having the bases split just on this map in particular.
Oh, exactly. And I don't blame him. We're talking about like the potential for aggressive openers on Oceanborn in the previous series, and Lambo's fully aware of that. So just going for a very safe opener here. A little bit less economic, but safe nonetheless from Lambo, and he just wants to get into a solid, stable mid game.
Yeah, he's going to be delaying his gas a little bit. So it could also be that on this map, he is a little bit more confident defending the Adept harass. So yeah, the gas is going to be going down at pretty early time. So not going to be delaying it too much. I think it should be completely fine.
Yeah, exactly. Getting into a little bit of an earlier gas to get into link speed to be able to keep up with Creator. And yeah, Creator, he hasn't really been doing much different. I mean, I say Creator, same with Lambo. We've had some very similar openers here between the two of them. Maybe it's like some Adept, some Oracle harass, but yeah, nothing, no major deviations, I should say, from either player.
Yeah, 100%. I think this was the map that Creator did go for the... Yeah, it is. This is the map Creator went for the Disruptor drop against Wayne. I would be pretty surprised if he did that versus Lambo. Lambo actually changing up his Overlord scouting a little bit as well. Looks like he wants to dip in and make sure exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He just wants to make sure that everything is on the up and up, getting eyes on the Cyber Core as well to make sure that it is, in fact, not going to be a Twilight Council-based opener. We do have Warp Gate finishing up, and oh, he's doing it again!
Yeah, he fakes out that it's Stargate as well. That was really cute. So
yeah.
Often with Stargate, you'll start the Warp Gate and then cancel it, drop down that Stargate, and then start it back up again. So he does the same timing, even though you don't necessarily need to do that with a robo because it's less gas.
Exactly. So you love to see it. So yeah, we do have Creator just faking out his opponent here, working towards that Disruptor job, very similar to what we saw against Wayne earlier today, and we'll see if Creator can find and have as much success this time.
I do think the Stalker first is a little bit sus. It's pretty rare for Protoss to do that unless they're going for some kind of aggressive opener, but he will be able to at least keep Lambo in the dark, and I wonder if he's going to be going for that same move with the fake warp in. I do feel like the Lambo's going to know exactly what the tell is for that. I'm not sure what it would be, but that's the kind of thing that Lambo would be extremely interested in knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already a little bit sus that Creator hasn't gone for the double Adept harass that he has gone for every other game.
True.
So Lambo should know that something's up, and yeah, we do see the Roach Warren going down a lot earlier. That goes down almost at 3:30, so that's going to be prepared for any kind of Adept timing, which is what Creator's trying to fake.
Yeah, Creator is trying to fake that out, and I'm sure Lambo is now a little bit wise to the fact that we've seen a little bit less aggression. We already have that Roach Warren on the way. I think that was thrown down at around the 3-minute 30-ish mark. So really early Roach Warren. Lambo will have Roaches out. But once again, I'm sure Creator wants to try to fake out Shockwave Adepts, as he's moving out with those Adepts and still building up that Disruptor count.
Yeah, for Adept's going to be moving across the map. The Overlord does spot this, and he does have these Overlords at the front. Yeah, it looks like he's going to park himself right under that Overlord and be like, look at me, warping in Adepts, definitely going to be attacking you.
Oh, it'd be a shame if I adepted you, Papi. Oh no, as we cancel the warp and we just shade back home.
Yeah, there we go. So he does actually force some roaches to get made, which he didn't manage to do versus Wayne, but the second those Adepts got cancelled, immediately 10 drones got started up for Lambo. So yeah, it looks like Lambo is at least reacting very quickly to what he sees.
Oh, exactly. As we do see Creator going to be backing off here in the end. And now here we go. The Disruptors are on the way. We have Colossi behind this. And Lambo, can he keep up with the aggression of his opponent? We have the Spores being repositioned. Queens moving forward. Upon seeing the Adepts retreat, I'm sure Lambo is now aware of what's been happening. Oh my god.
Yeah, Lambo knows what this is. So good adjustment there. Oh, that's just... Yeah, a little bit. Wow, the Creator still dropped that Disruptor. But Lambo did face a pretty hefty supply block just then.
Nova's going to be going off. We do have a split with the Queens, but one Queen is going to be going down. Whew, that was almost disastrous there, but Lambo does avoid that damage, is going to be backing off. Ooh, and likewise, Creator has to retreat as well. Has to respect these Queens. It did take quite a bit of hull damage on that Prism.
Yeah, and this is looking very similar to the game versus Wayne. What happened versus Wayne as well is we did see Creator, yeah, he put together this little army and he poked out, just forced a few extra units. Wayne ended up going for a 3-base roach timing, which is, you know, kind of also what Lambo looks like he's working towards, and that was very effectively shut down.
Yeah, exactly. As Lambo is going to be cutting workers, a big wave of Overlords are on the way for good reason. We have 7 Overlords because we're going to be making nothing but roaches at this point. Roaches and Ravagers are on the horizon here. Lambo wants to try to punish Creator. Can he pull this off? Lambo, he's squeezing out a couple of drones here and there, which is interesting. Yeah, actually investing quite a bit into these drones, taking additional gases here. So it looks like Lambo, he may just have this for safety and isn't actually going to be committing too hard. He's teching.
Yeah, I think he just wants to have enough units to be safe for any 2 or 3 base timing. Creator is going to be once again, yeah, poking forward with this small ragtag army, but I think Lambo already has enough to deal with this.
Oh yeah, as we do push onto creep here, we do clean up some of those tumors. Lambo is ready for it, as you were saying. He should have plenty here to deflect the army of Creator. Meanwhile, Darkshrine on the way. Again, I'm getting some serious deja vu. Like, Creator is playing very similarly against Wayne.
Exact same game plan, but the difference here is Lambo is going into that Hydroden and Infestation pit much earlier.
True.
So he should have actually a pretty decent amount of lurkers ready for the first push, which Wayne wasn't able to do. Wayne had 2 lurkers ready for the first push, and that timing really was quite awkward for him to deal with.
Oh, exactly. So Lambo, he's already embracing a bit of a later game. Nova's going to be going off. The Disruptors do survive. A couple of Lings going down, but no big connections here. And it is just really important to emphasize the fact that Lambo is taking up so quickly into these lurkers, and he should be able to get into them. It's going to be close though, because Creator is still pushing. He's still applying pressure. There is still a bit of a danger here, and you do have to respect this army.
Yeah, it looks like Creator's going to go for a bit of an earlier timing, so he does recognize what's going on here. And if he can force some extra units out, he can make this transition a little bit more awkward for Lambo.
Oh, exactly. As we still have +2 and charge on the way. We're just poking onto creep here. No big commitment from Creator yet. He did just scout with hallucinations. I think he did see those Hydras popping out, so he should be aware of what's going on. But I don't know if Creator can really do much here. Like, he can poke and prod, but yeah, he's taking a 4th base. He's trying to work on that next step.
Yeah, just kind of making some room for himself, setting up any future pushes here. We're seeing him once again, yeah, being very active with the Stalkers, just trying to get as much value out of Blink that he can.
Yeah, exactly. As Nova's going to be going off, not quite connecting with the army. A couple of Roaches do take some hits here from the Stalkers, and Creator just vying for map control. Meanwhile, 2 Adepts, they do shade into the 4th base, but there's a Spine Crawler ready.
Yeah, Nova just grazes the tail there of that roach, but only 2 drones going to be going down to the Adept Harass. We do have a 5th coming up for Lambo as well. So yeah, overall this game going a lot cleaner for Lambo than it does for Wayne, just because of the more passive playstyle.
Yeah, and speaking of cleaner, that is a Stargate on the way. Creator maybe thinking about that Skytoss transition, which I think would be wise, especially if he's aware of the lurkers. But Lambo is going to be able to get into Hydra Lurker Viper first. So Creator's going to be stuck with a ground toss army, and he's going to try to incorporate Immortals here.
Yeah, just the single Stargate so far. Okay, second Stargate going down. I was going to say, if it was just going to be the one Stargate, we have seen quite a few Protoss players just doing a single Stargate transition to get a mothership out, and then eventually adding the extra Stargates once they feel safe.
Yeah, we have seen plenty of that, but we do have additional Stargates in production. There's a fleet beacon on the way as well, so Creator, he has recognized that he's a little bit late to the party. He now gets confirmation with this hallucination that the Lurker Den is done, the Hive is done, Lurker upgrades are on the way. Viper's a little bit exposed, we do get one of the Disruptors.
Yeah, Disruptor goes down. Fleet Beacon is going to be going up for the Protoss, so it looks like Creator doesn't really want to commit to a fight here. He just wants to kind of dance back and forth, slow down the army of Lambo, stop these Lurkers from sieging up on his fourth, and get into those carriers as he can afford it without dying.
Yeah, but can he get there? You know, the not dying part is important. It's it's hard to do as well. As here we go, we do have Novas going off, but the Vipers, the Yoinks are too good. They get every single Disruptor.
Yeah, really nice force fields, but that's a lot of tech units going down here. And we do have the Immortals finally coming out, but yeah, now we have Yoinks for the Immortals. I think Creator might be losing this game. Lambo looking to make a bit of a comeback now.
Exactly. Lambo again taking up into Hydra Lurker Viper so much faster compared to Wayne is able to break through towards that fourth base. Creator losing every single Robo base unit. He's going for a big counterattack. He knows he cannot engage with the Lurkers.
Yeah, it's going to be giving up that fourth and coming in with those Stalkers, but the reinforcements should be able to deal with that. The main thing here for Creator is if he does have an effective counterattack, this might buy him enough time to get up some carriers.
Yeah, I mean, carriers are in production. Big revelation here. A surround.
Oh, the army's very split.
It is very split. Can we engage as the Immortals? They're pushing up the ramp. They get two more of those Lurkers. Two Lurkers do survive across the map. Their base is going to be going down. 7 probes as well.
Yeah, Lambo being punished here for sending the Lurkers back home without the support of the Roach Hydra, but well, that is not a good rally. The Robos rallied right into the thick of it there.
Exactly. Immortal and the Disruptor goes down. Meanwhile, another base has gotten up and running. Creator, he's going to be able to hold on to it, but here come the Ling reinforcements. They catch some of these Stalkers. Without Colossi, the Lings, they're going to be able to shut this down.
Yeah, I love the Ling reinforcements here, and I think that might just be the nail in the coffin, as these Stalkers and Immortals, they are kind of cut off from any kind of help that they can get from Robo units and carriers.
Exactly. Hot pick up there on those Immortals. We're going to be able to save them, but Lambo with a more mobile army, he does come across the final one of these bases here of Creator. He does come across the fourth, and there's no way to retreat. There's no way out of this.
Yeah, the Zealot Stalker Immortal is getting pushed into the corner here. The Blink is committed. There's no battery here, so these units, they are doomed. The carriers are going to try to save whatever they can, but carriers, they kill Roaches so slowly, and there's enough Hydras to pick them off.
Yeah, the carrier is going to go down. The base as well. We get another yoink on the Disruptor. GG gets called, and Lambo fights back. Lambo takes game number 3.
Gee, very confident game coming out from Lambo, and he's making that Robo opening look quite unsound.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you do recognize it ahead of time, if it doesn't really deal much damage, then you can take advantage of it. And yeah, Lambo's so quick to tech up, so quick to rush into that hive, rush into those Vipers, and yeah, he was able to just out-tech Creator in a big way. Creator, he was working towards Skytoss, but it was just too little too late. Could not get into by the time he got into the carriers, like, he was already down. He was already losing his economy and losing control of the game.
Yeah, the Lurker Viper timing, really solid from Lambo, and he was just getting way too much value, picking off all the Colossus, all the Immortals. I think if Creator was somehow able to keep those units alive, he might have been okay, but yeah, unfortunately not.
Exactly, and with that, we're going to we have a series. We have a back and forth. We're getting into game number 4, and really that's all we wanted. That's all we do want between these players, and yeah, this can still go either way. I mean, Creator still needs just one more win, but Lambo has shown that he can fight toe-to-toe with Creator. Yeah,
definitely. That was a much more effective game. I think Creator's going to be probably looking to go back to standard play after that because the standard games went a lot better for him.
Exactly. We should be seeing Stargate openers. I'd be surprised to see another Robo, but we are loading into Hard Lead, and Hard Lead does have quite a short rush distance by ground. You can be very aggressive, very active on a map like this. Twilight Council opener, wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that, some kind of variation. I don't think Creator has to, but he may be tempted.
Yeah, Adept Play would be really good here. I think Adept Play in general, a little bit scary to do against Lambo just because he is so well rehearsed with his responses. But at the same time, it's a really good map for it. Creator has shown that his build choices seem to be map specific, and we haven't seen him play PvZ on Hard Lead today, so yeah, I'm expecting anything really.
Oh yeah, we expect anything at this point, and oh boy, we're just waiting to find out as we're getting ready for that next game, just getting the lobby ready. The players, they just needed a moment to set things up, but I don't blame them. Just a moment to breathe before diving into this. Meanwhile, we have confirmation we have only qualifying matches left. From the top, we have Gumiho versus Nightmare currently ongoing. We have our own series, Creator versus Lambo. We have Bunny versus Harsum. Bunny did take down Ryung 2-1, knocking Ryung out, and that means that Ryung will no longer have another chance to qualify for IEM. Harstum 2-1 to Laser. He eliminated a Laser from the tournament. A Laser will not be a part of IEM Katowice.
Very impressive, and yeah, Bunny versus Harstum. That's a banger of a PvT.
Oh yeah, it really is. And just to get to the end of some of these updates, DRG did 2-0 Coffee, and Classic took down Future, but Classic dropped the map. They did go to the ace match, and Classic 2-1 Future.
Right, but as those results come in, one that is absolutely not set in stone is this one here in the bottom right-hand corner. Playing for the Shopify Rebellion, fighting back now and looking to make the reverse sweep. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV, still one game away from qualifying for the closed qualifiers. It is Creator. Here we go. Also, just to clear up some misconceptions, I see some people asking like, wait, didn't some of these players already qualify or not? If you did see a player like SOS or Gumiho quote-unquote qualify, it was during the open qualifiers to qualify for the closed qualifiers. It's a little bit confusing, but basically, this is a qualifier for a qualifier. And this was the case for every single region, for the Asia region and for the European region. Tomorrow is when we kind of determine who does and doesn't get the plane ticket to make it into IEM Katowice. Tomorrow we have, I believe it's special trigger. Hold on, I got a list. It's gonna be special trigger Scarlet and Sham, waiting for whoever qualifies from this qualifier.
Oh, so does that mean SOS is in a closed career qualifier?
He was. Not anymore.
Ah, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
He was at one point, and then he got eliminated, Bobby. So that's why they did rock up here. So yeah, we didn't mention before, right, where Gumiho, SOS, Bunny, like they were playing in the European qualifiers, made it through into the closed qualifier, but didn't make it into the main event. So yeah, they've been on the grind set. A lot of these Koreans, they've been in every single qualifier, going the distance, but barely not making the cut.
Yeah, some pretty rough timings coming out from like that time for Korea can be quite rough if you're playing those EU qualifiers and that. But yeah, we're seeing something again a little bit different. It does look like it's going to be a Twilight opener from Creator here.
Yeah, it does look to be the case, as we do have Warp Gate on the way, our first tech of choice. Pylon is thrown down behind the mineral line, so unlikely for it to be a Stargate. And we were talking about how it can be so tempting on Hard Lead to go for Twilight Council openers just because you can be so much more aggressive and assertive on this map. Adept is going to be shading in, and we should soon be seeing the tech from Creator.
I actually have no idea why he hasn't dropped his tech yet.
Yeah, it's very late. We have the money for it. Oh!
I think he just forgot it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so as well. I think.
Oh, it's double Stargate. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah. He didn't forget it. This is really cool. So
Yeah.
this is, I think this is meant to look like Twilight Council,
Yeah.
because the Overlord's seen it's seen the Stalker, it's seen the Adept being kept safe, it's seen Warpgate from the start.
Yeah.
This is going to be probably Stargate Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, we assumed that it would be a Twilight Council and we can see everything, and Lambo, I'm sure, is assuming the same thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it a bit of an earlier Roach Warren as well. Yep, there we go, as if on cue, Roach Warren's on the way, so Lambo believes it's going to be another ground-based play, when really, Creator, he's going to be banking up Phoenixes in the main.
I believe this is the gas timing for 4Gate as well. The fourth gas is going to throw Lambo off a little bit. He might be able to work out from that there's something else going on. But yeah, we do see, okay, there's going to be spores getting started up as well. So Lambo just trying to catch ball a little bit here, making a small wave of lings as well, just to try to find out what's going on. It's obviously quite sus that there's no third.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is, like, with this fourth gas timing, this still looks like Twilight Council plus a Dark Shrine, right? Like, Glaveadeps plus DTs is also a big possibility, so I don't blame Lambo for throwing down these Spore Crawlers. Like, he's doing everything he needs to, he's doing everything he should be doing. Third base is soon to be taken, so Lambo's still trying to figure out what exactly is happening, and still with incomplete information.
Yeah, that Spore there set up to deal with either DTs or a Prism, it looks like, so... yeah, Lambo maybe a little bit confused as to what exactly is going on here.
Yeah, especially with the third base. Like, usually you would delay this third a little bit longer. Much longer, actually, if it was going to be Glaveadeps into Dark Templar. So here we go. The Phoenixes are moving out. They do get spotted by the Ling. Now the jig is up. Now Lambo knows what's happening. And can he defend? The Overlords immediately they turn back around. We're going to try to save whatever we can as Phoenixes are pushing out across the map.
I do wonder what the transition is going to be here for Creator. Usually after Double Stargate Phoenix, you're going to be seeing DTs, but he hasn't thrown down a DT shrine yet.
Yeah, exactly. You go for the Patty special, Papi. As one of the Overlords does get picked up, everything else is just returning. Third base is getting up and running. We're going straight for a Robo, actually. Okay, so... yeah, we could even be seeing like a quote-unquote like mech style from Creator, just going Phoenix into like Immortals. Yeah, that's not unheard of.
Yeah, definitely. Still no Twilight going down, so we do finally clean up that Overlord there, but the Phoenixes haven't found too much damage yet.
Yeah, they've only killed one. Immediately, we have a Hydrogen on the way here from Lambo, just with some anti-air. Phoenixes, they do go for a run by here at the third base, and finally, drones are getting picked up.
Yeah, a few drones going down. This is the kind of thing that I'm pretty sure Lambo's going to have a very well rehearsed response for, but we do see the second Robo is going to be coming down. It's probably going to be another one of the same sort of Colossus pushes, and I wonder if it's going to be Charge first coming out and just an avoidance of Stalkers altogether.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be Charged just so we can afford that double Robo production, but we'll see as the Zealots are going to be diving into that main base, picking up another couple of extra workers. Bearing in mind, not a single Phoenix has died so far, but maybe I spoke too soon.
Inkster.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really good crane movement coming out from Lambo. He's going to try to pick off that last exposed Phoenix. It does look like it is going to be going down.
Yeah, one Phoenix does fall, but we get another 9 workers here as back at home, getting into that Immortal production. Twilight Council is done. There it is, Charshot Archon on the way alongside all these Immortals, so a very hefty army is in production. We're going for a Nidus.
Yeah, so this Nidus is going to be for reinforcement at the front. I don't think it's going to be for any kind of backstab or sneaky attack like that, but Lambo probably going to be looking to set up a Nidus maybe between the natural and the third at that kind of front base. And go for a bit of a queen setup here and to slowly wedge his way between the natural and the third.
Yeah, I mean, Lambo, he's all in basically. Like, he doesn't have a fourth base, no more economy here, no more tech. It's going to be one big push here with +1, and there it is, Nidus on the right-hand side. It's all or nothing for Lambo. We'll see if Creator can hold. He does have a pretty impressive Immortal count. He's making 2 at a time, so he's going to have quite an army here to defend.
Yeah, Creator very aware of what's going on here. We see cannons and batteries going down, Archons as well as Immortals. He does scout out that Nidus, and I do think the next Nidus, next Nidus is going to be getting set up now as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the goal here is Lambo's going to try to pull apart his opponent. That's a lot of queens, by the way, waddling on forward towards that third base. Shield batteries, cannons, a massive wall of static defenses on the way here for Creator.
You know, it's kind of crazy. There's no Overseer with this. If Creator had followed up with DTs, I think this would just be game over.
It would be brutal. It would 100% be brutal here if there were some Dark Templar. Meanwhile, we're going to be pushing on forward, leapfrogging with those Niduses. Decent force fields. We catch 2 Roaches. Roach speed just now finishing up, and Lambo is reinforcing with Lings. Again, he does have the supply lead, but that is inflated supply. We're actually going to be rotating over towards the left-hand side.
Yeah, so Lambo's just going to be trying to set up these little creep setups that he can springboard between. If he can start getting creep in between the natural and third, that's going to be a really nice position for him, just because the queens will be able to transfuse.
Oh, exactly. But we have accurately split up our immortals here. We have 4 immortals here at the natural. We have 3 immortals on the right-hand side. Force fields being thrown down. We're diving on top of the army. Ooh. The Biles!
Yeah, Lambo's going for it. He's going to be able to get on top of that front battery as well. It's overcharged. I feel like that might not have been the right battery to overcharge, and it does go down.
Yeah, overcharge goes down. We do get 2 immortals as well. Good pickups here from Lambo. Phoenixes are racing back home. Meanwhile, Lambo is going to rotate over towards the left-hand side. That's so many immortals. Jesus. That's insane.
Really accurate bios coming out from Lambo. Going to be zoning out, taking out all of those cannons. And this is going to be trouble as well, because I feel like these bios can just zone out the immortals from the natural, and he can start to take down the third.
Exactly. It's going to be so difficult for those immortals to reinforce the third base, but now they're on the way. Biles going to be spent here on the right-hand side. We do get into the mineral line, but here we go. The immortals, they're coming.
Yeah, I think Creator's going to pull the trigger now. He is looking to jump on top of this. We do have the Immortals getting on top of the Queens, and the Queens are getting absolutely shredded. If enough of those Queens go down, the Phoenix are going to have free reign over the Ravagers.
Yeah, they already do, actually. Ravagers getting picked off one after the other. A massive Immortal army coming in for a mass surround as well, and Lambo cannot escape.
Yeah, I think this might just be it. This might be the end of Lambo's chances here. This might be qualification for Creator right here, right now.
Oh, exactly. As he gets to some of the Queens, cleans them all up, shuts down the Nidus as well, and Lambo loses every single unit. He did kill 11 workers at this third base, but Creator still has the better economy, and Lambo has nothing else behind this. He did throw down a Hydra Den to try to get into Hydra production, but he's still on 3 bases.
Yeah, Lambo is super dead. He's going to be playing this one out just because it is such an important game, and there is always a chance that Creator makes a big mistake, loses a bunch of these Immortals, and somehow Lambo gets himself back into this game. But I think if this was a ladder game, if this wasn't such an important game, he would probably be out of here the second that retreating Nidus got cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, that's 10 Immortals, Baki. That's oh my god, it's insane what Creator's working with. He's clearing up all this creep. He's going to be taking up 4th base. Lambo also taking his own forward 4th base as well. There is a world where if he's able to maybe catch all these Phoenixes, if he's able to get into a lurker den and maybe get like 4 lurkers up and running, 5 lurkers, and take a good fight, like there's a world where maybe he can try to hold. There is a slither of a chance, there's a slither of hope, but Creator's pushing. He's not giving Lambo that chance.
Yeah, I don't know. Lurkers versus 10 Immortals. I wouldn't be feeling too good about that one.
Yeah.
But we do have Creator pushing in. He does have Storm finish now as well. So those Hydras are going to be in a little bit of trouble if they venture too far forward.
Exactly. We do have to take care here with those Hydras. Immortals are going to be pushing forward. There are the Storms zoning back the army.
Yeah, and just look at all these units for Lambo already in yellow health just from the Immortals chunking through them in those Storms.
That's a kill, not a cancel on the 4th base as well. 300 minerals down the drain. Ravagers being focused down. Queens are going to try to keep up here. The High Templar leading the charge, looking for those Storms.
Yeah, this is just desperation from Lambo, but I think Creator, he is taking this too slowly, too methodically. He is not giving Lambo any chances to get back into this one.
Exactly. You know, if he wanted to, he could have tried to back off, get his 4th base up running and max out, but no, Creator, he's going for the kill. He's going for that close qualifier. GG, congratulations! And Creator will take the 3-1 and qualify for the NA close qualifiers tomorrow. GG.
GG. Very nice game plan there from Creator, hiding the double Stargate Phoenix, and the response for Lambo just a little bit too late. The preparation from Creator a little bit too good.
Yeah, GG Creator. He was so set up for it as well. I mean, things were going Lambo's way, as you were pointing out, right? Like really good bios. He was able to zone back a lot of those Immortals. So many of them were stuck in the natural base, and there was just such a narrow choke point for them to escape, but they made it through, right? They were able to file out of the natural. We had a massive surround as well, and Lambo, he just could not stop the tide of Immortal. That was an uncomfortable amount of Immortals to see at once. That was that was crazy.
I like that.
You like it, Pop. You like it. I understand. uh,
Yeah, very well played by Creator. So he will be going through. He'll be qualifying, and maybe we can have another look at the bracket, see where we're at with the rest of the games.
Ooh, exactly. As it looks like Creator is going to be the first player to qualify for the closed qualifiers tonight. And we have 3 more matches currently ongoing. At the top of the bracket, we have Gumiho versus Nightmare in a TVP, in a best of 5, of course, currently ongoing. Scrolling down from there, we have a Bunny versus Hearthstone, in a juicy TVP as well. Europe versus Korea. I'm sure that's going to be a very entertaining series. And at the very bottom, DRG versus Classic, a Zerg versus a Protoss.
Yeah, Bunny vs Hearthstone, I reckon that's my pick. That'll be a very interesting game to be watching.
100%. It's always great to see, these regions collide. The other matches are occurring over on the Korean server, because it is Korean on Korean action. But we can stick around here on the NA server and try to jump on Bunny versus Hearthstone. We do have enough time to catch one of these final qualifying matches mid-series. But I'm sure it's being covered by someone. I'm sure there's some English coverage in that.